Why, yeah. Um, let's get into it. Let's get into the vibe. You know, let's find out what the vibe is. You know, we'll see. You know, it can only be what it's gonna be. It might, but you know, it might be good. So I've got. Let me just move it back where it was. Oh, I've got two things to show y'all. Let me just turn the camera around. That's too close to that button. Okay, what you see in there is Muller Corners, yeah? I'm sure you know what Muller Corners is. And underneath, look, we've got Vintage Fairies colouring book. And then at the top, can you see the pens? So it's all good there. My mum, who I love very dearly, she shows her love for me in interesting ways. I think we both have a touch of autism. With me, mine's mostly gone because when I transitioned from male to female, sort of like 90% of it left me. And this is actually incredibly hard to get into, which is not helping. I think I'm gonna need I've got a pair of scissors over here. So we'll try and open this package here. Give it a little snip so we can get into the goodies. I think I've tried both of these. I know I definitely tried the marshmallow ones. I'll just pull the first one out and see what it is. Oh, it's not the marshmallow ones. Oh, it's just white chocolate. Oh, okay, fair enough. Where's my spoon? It's on the fairy book. Where's my fairy book? Oh, there it is. Okay, I realise I'm not looking, you know, I'm not giving eye contact, and the reason for that is because I'm kind of busy, like, opening Muller's at the moment. It's not easy with one hand. Just trying to make sure that I'm, you know, visible. I want to be visible, you know, there's not much point if you can't see me. The advert used to be Lick the Lid of Life. I've got on my I'm trying to get yogurt all over me. Right. Yes, I know, but I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best to actually start a video here. I am trying. Right, you won't be able to see. Okay, right. So here goes. Let's try the yogurt. Strawberry. Let's try the chocolate. Tastes chocolatey. Well, it doesn't actually taste chocolatey because white chocolate doesn't actually contain any chocolate. So, you know, that can mean whatever it means, you know. So what do I talk about? I think what I'd like to talk about is I was writing some positivity on the train because I met this really negative bloke and I talked to him. He was a narcissist. and he wanted to pop me. But it didn't happen because, like, you know, I'm above all that. Obviously I triggered him in some way, and he thought we were going to have an argument, and he was going to fucking just lay into me with his words. Maybe that's me taking it the wrong way, and that's just men. They threaten to do stuff all the time and they don't really mean it. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, this is for real. I don't know how a man thinks, you know. I used to be one, and all I know is they get pissed off very easily. Well, this guy in particular is clearly someone who gets pissed off very easily. Not pissed off. I think there's some kind of, you know, a trigger, yeah. Has anyone who's watching this, has anyone been through that immature trigger stage where, I've been through it. You know, when I get triggered and I'm fucking feeling the rage, you know, what this person did to my mind, I'm feeling the rage, how dare they, you know. When really it was like a gap in my reality that allowed all that in, you know what I mean. So I don't even know where I was going. Men. As a trans girl, I think that, like, I did used to have like a disease, which used to be that I would try to figure girls out, right? How they thought, who they were, so that, like, because, like, it seemed to me like they were literally magic. The way they dealt with stuff was so different, and so something that I would never even think about going near, you know. The way they dealt with stuff, the way they knew stuff that I would never have known, you know, things like that. I used to think that girls were like magic, and I used to want this magic. I used to want this awareness, and I tried to, through like logic, try and work out kind of how they ticked, how they did it, you know. I remember it was like a phase I went through when I was about 30. And the point I'm getting to is I wonder if women do that for men, you know. I think, how the fuck do they do what they do? How the fuck do they know what they know? How come they knew that, like, I needed to tell that person to fuck right off? How did they know that, you know? You know, for example, you know, like a warning. Say he gives me a warning, you know, you're in fucking danger there, mate. You know, you don't want to be, you know, he gives you some advice. He says, I'm fucking begging you to listen to that, you know. You know, So what it is, yeah, is I wonder if women do the same thing that I used to do for women. Right, do they do it for men? Do they try and like logically work out how they pull off their magic, you know? Because clearly men are just as magic as like women are magic, if you know what I mean. And I think I would have been much better off if I'd have talked to a girl who was open, you know. It's like, look, I want to be able to embody the female energy, the female consciousness, the female everything. You know, can you please talk to me? Can you tell me? I mean, I wanted to know, you know. I may have been triggered by girls. Yes, I was. I won't lie. I used to think, there's something wrong with you, you know, sometimes. But like at the same time, this I only really ever thought about my mother. And I'm not afraid to say it because I love her dearly now and I do not have those feelings anymore. It was clearly some sort of illness. But at the same time, I wanted that magic. I needed a girl to talk to. Tell me how you deal, how you knew. Just explain it to me. I've got a fucking brain. I know I can understand it, you know. This was before I started taking female hormones. You know, and I feel like maybe if I'd had that girl to talk to be open with me about how she arrives at the ideas, the how she sees, how she knows the things she knows that a man would never figure out, you know, how she gets there, what's her thought process, you know, that sort of thing. I feel like if I had someone like that, I would never have needed to transition, you know, because I would, through talking, I would have gotten there, you know what I mean? I mean, I think that my whole mind, my whole awareness would have shifted, and I would have, it would be like, how do I explain? I was going to use the analogy chain reaction, you know, like as in physics. Like once I hear one thing, once I understand one thing, one magical thing, you know, I want to know more and more and more and more, you know, and then I start to be able to do it, you know. I can think that way because I've had it explained to me, you know, and yeah, so I'm actually running out of Muller here. This is pretty sad. I think I'll try and go for dark chocolate. Trying to find a dark chocolate one in here. I know it's really hard to make eye contact with the camera while I'm undoing a Muller. I know that. I mean, I can probably pull it off, but I'd make myself look pretty stupid, you know what I mean? Come on, last little bit, last little inch before I tip it absolutely all over the place, you know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, for fuck's sake. There we go. right. I knew it was gonna like knock. I knew as I pulled, as that last bit pulled off, it was gonna knock the packet, and it did. But I've only lost one chocolate bit, which I've just eaten. So like, but I know that as a boy, yeah, because I was before I started taking female hormones. As a boy, I could have delved into the female mind and I could have asked her, how do you think? How do you think? How did you know that? What was your thought process? You know, blah, 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 blah. And I know that, you know, because I'm a girl now, I know that any man who asks me that, you know, who is not going to freak, you know, when I actually tell him how, you know, because I'd be a bit scared that he was absolutely going to lose the plot and kill me if I told him. But like, I know that I would tell that person, you know, but I don't believe that as a woman, if I asked a man, how did you know that, you know, I think it's got more credibility in my mind right now. Let me just sit up properly because I look like the fucking Jabba the Hutt when I'm laying down like that. Jabba the Hutt is a Star Wars character. You know, I know that could I be taught, you know, I think there's a big problem with it. I think that being male and being female kind of contradict each other. Because women will not be triggered. Women will just ignore anything that is triggering. Literally just ignore it. Unlike that bloke who wanted to start an argument over it, you know. But I didn't bite, so didn't get what he wanted. As a woman, I want to ignore triggers, whereas as a man, the idea is if a man gets triggered, he wants to fucking well do something about it, you know what I mean? And you know that means starting some kind of confrontation, you know? And I know that everything I'm saying is bullshit, but it does work for some men, and it does work for some women. You know, I've just realised that, like, there was this boy on the bus, yeah, and he went, probably something to do with me being trans, you know, it was too much for him, and he went, and he says, I've gone, and I'm, like, really shook by how, like, how well he takes it. So I think the most important thing for both men and women is to it's having a healthy mind where either A, triggers don't happen in the first place, because if you feel a trigger, you feel, oh, that fucking meant that, you know, you just ignore it. you know, which is what I tend to do. Or when you do get triggered, try and just enjoy the experience, you know. Okay, my mind's gone wonky for a while, you know. Do I look bothered? You know, whatever. Anyway, I think it's an interesting video. And I'm going to leave it here. So, thanks for watching. If you empathize and if you're interested in what I'm saying, then I do love you. I hope you get your life figured out. I hope you get your shit together. I believe with all my heart that it is possible. I don't want to go into it too much because I don't want to be triggering, but I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.